Hi students, my name is Satyam, lecturer in Computer Science and Applications, Government Degree College for Women's, Jagityal. Today's topic is repetition structures in Python language. That means repetition control structures in Python language. This topic today we will discuss. Okay. Now, according to Python language, control structures are classified into two types. Number one, decision control structures. Number two, repetition control structures. So, the decision control structures are again classified into four types. Number one, simple if. Number two, if else. Number three, if else if. Number four, nested decision structure. Okay, so this topic already we covered before class. Okay, so today we will discuss about the concept of repetition control structures in the Python language. So like that, the control structures in Python language are classified into two types. Number one, decision control structures. Number two, repetition control structures. Already we completed the topic of decision control structures. Today we will discuss about the repetition control structures in Python language. So the repetition control structures in Python language are again classified into three types. Number one, while loop. Number two, for loop. Number three, nested looping. Okay, so these three types of looping control structures we will discuss today's class. Okay, how the while loop is executed and how the for loop is executed. So what is the importance of nested looping in the program? So these topics are discussed today's class. Okay, then comes to the first concept of repetition control structures. Okay, so before discussing this topic, actually what is the repetition control structure? We will know what is the repetition structure. A repetition structure causes a statement or set of statements to execute repeatedly. There are two broad categories of loops are available. Number one, condition controlled looping. Number two, count controlled looping. So like this, a repetition control structure causes a statement, that means a single statement, or set of statements, that means group of statements, to execute repeatedly. Okay, so the type of structures are called as repetition control structures. Means, so in the programming, according to the requirement, the group of statements, means the block, are executed repeatedly until our need is satisfied. Okay, so like that, the group of statements or the set of statements are used to execute repeatedly with the help of some control statements. That control statements are called as a repetition control statements or a repetition control structures in Python language. So in our real life also, so we are doing some repetition work daily as a student. So in your life, first of all, on Monday you are checking one condition, today college is working day or not. Then comes to college and do your activities and then go to the home. Okay, again next day, Tuesday, again you verified the condition, today is college working day. Yes or no? Yes, college working day. Again come to the college and repeatedly do the activities. So like that, until you will get the Saturday, the 6 days are you are come to the college and repeatedly doing the your activities and go to your home. So when the Sunday is occurs in your life, then you verified the condition. So the condition is today is Sunday, so Sunday is holiday, so that's why you will not come to the college. Okay, so like that. So in our life also some repetition work is going on, same just like that. In the programming language also, the Python programming language also, the set of statements are a set of statements means a block. Okay, so the group of statements are executed repeatedly. Okay, so until the requirement is completed for the programming. Okay, until our requirement satisfies. Okay, then the group of statements are executed repeatedly. So this type of control structures are called as repetition control structures, or this type of control structures are called as the repetition control statements also. Okay, so the repetition control structures or the repetition control statements, both are the same. Okay, so like that, the Python contain repetition control structures. Now in the Python, according to the behavior of repetition control structures, we are classified into two types. Okay, number one, condition controlled looping structures. Number two, count controlled looping structures. Okay, so observe carefully here. So according to the behavior of repetition control structures of Python, the control structure are, again we say that, again we classified that condition controlled structures, then number two, count controlled structures. Okay, now we will discuss about the condition controlled looping structures. Okay, now a condition controlled loop uses a condition to control the number of times that it repeats. Means a condition controlled looping structure verify the condition. If the given condition is true, then entering into the bracket and execute the group of statements, then again go to the top of the block and again it verifies the condition and comes to the execution block. So like that, a condition controlled loop executes the group of statements or the block of statements repeatedly. The given condition is true. When the given condition become as false, then simply it will comes to the end of the loop. That means while it entering into the block of statements, the condition is verified first. So like that, the condition is verified by a loop. That type of loops are called as condition controlled loops. Condition controlled loops. So generally in the Python language, the while statement is called as condition controlled loop. So the while condition always verifies the condition. Then if the given condition is true, then only entering into the block. Okay, so then it repeatedly executes the group of statements. Okay, so when the while condition, verified condition is false, then the looping will be stopped. Okay, so like that, the behavior of while is same. It satisfies the rule of condition controlled loop. So that's why in the Python language, the while statement, the while repetition control statement is belongs to condition controlled loop. Okay, so then comes to second one, count controlled loop. Okay, second one is count controlled loop. So in the count controlled loop, the loop is executed number of times. The loop is executed number of times that is decided before it starts the execution. For example, if the repetition control statement have to execute 5 times, okay, must be execute 5 times, then that is decided before it going to the execution. So like that, a repetition control statement will count the number of executions before it starts the execution. Okay, so this phenomena, this rule is called as count controlled loop rule. Okay, so like that, a count controlled loop repetition structure will execute the block, that means will execute the group of statements repeatedly, okay, until the count reaches the maximum. That means until the count is completed. Okay, like that, the count controlled loop repetition control structures are available in the Python. Okay, so the best example is for loop. Okay, the for loop in the Python satisfies the rule of count controlled loop. Okay, so the for loop will execute the program number of times, then after it reaches the number of times, simply it will terminate the for loop. So that's why in the Python language the for loop is called as count controlled loop. Okay, so like that, in the Python the repetition control statements are again classified into 2 types. Number 1, condition controlled loop. Number 2, count controlled loop. The condition controlled loop is in the Python that is called while loop. Then the count controlled loop of Python language that is called as for loop. Okay, so like that, the repetition control structures are worked in the Python language. Now come to the first loop, that is while loop. So already we discussed now the while loop is called as condition controlled loop. Okay, now definition. A condition controlled loop causes a statement or set of statements to repeat as long as condition is true. As long as the given condition is true. In Python, you use the while statement to write a condition controlled loop. The while loop gets its name for the way it works. Means the condition controlled loop of a while statement, that means the while statement. Okay, so the while statement executes the set of statements repeatedly as long as the given condition is true. Okay, so when the given condition is false, the repetition of execution will be stopped by the Python. Okay, so like that, the while loop will be executed. Then comes to here, the while verify the condition. If the condition is true, then do some task. That means it do some task, means the it executes the group of statements. Okay, so like that the while loop is worked in the Python. Okay, so here observe the syntax carefully. Here I am using the reserved word while, then after while, so I am using the condition. So after condition you must use colon. Why? Because in the Python language the colon indicates the construction of group. That means the following statements are belongs to while condition. The following statements are belongs to truth value of while condition. Nothing but construction of block. Okay, with the help of colon symbol. Okay, now observe syntax again carefully. So here I am writing the while, then mention the condition, then colon. So the statement 1, statement 2, dash dash dash, statement n. That means the group of statements, okay, the n number of statements are dependent on the while loop. Okay, while condition. Okay, so like that the while syntax will be appeared in the programming. So here the loop has two parts. The while loop has two parts. Number 1, a condition that is tested for a true or false. Okay, first the condition, the first part is condition verification. So the condition verification line is used to test the given condition is true or false. Then second part, that means the group of statements are called as second part. So the second part, a statement or set of statements that is repeated as long as the given condition is true. Okay, so like that the while loop is executed in the Python language. Okay, now comes to the next topic, the example of while loop. Okay, here already we discussed about the behavior of while loop and the syntax of while loop and the parts of while loop. Now I will explain the while loop with an example program. For example, observe this program. So this program will print the numbers between 1 to 10 continuously. Okay, now the first statement, that is num variable. So the num variable stores the value as 1. Okay, now the while condition, observe the while condition here. While num is less than or equal to 10, then print num is assigned to num plus 1. So in this example program, then what will happen? First of all, the num variable stores the value as 1. Now the condition 1 is less than or equal to 10, the given condition is true. Then the group of statements, that means the block of while execution is started. Okay, so on the output screen simply it will print the num value, that is 1. Now comes to num is assigned to num plus 1, that means 1 plus 1 2, again the 2 is stored in the same variable num. Okay, again it will go to the top of the while loop. Now again it verifies the condition, that is 2 is less than or equal to 10, again the given condition is true. Okay, again it will comes to the block and it will print the value as 2. Okay, like that it will executes the while loop 10 times. Okay, so for the value of 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So when the 10 reaches, the 10 is less than or equal to 10, the given condition is true, again it executes the block. When the num value becomes as 11, the 11 is less than or equal to 10, the given condition is false, then the while loop is stopped, the while loop execution is stopped. Okay, so like that the while loop is performed in the Python language. So here observe the 3 statements carefully in the while loop. So first one is num is assigned to num minus 1. Okay, so that means num is assigned to 1, the first statement. Okay, so this is called as initialization statement of the while loop. Now num is less than or equal to 10, that is called as condition statement. Now num is assigned to num plus 1, that is called as increment or decrement statements of a while loop. So if a looping control statement properly executed, so if the initialization statement and condition and increment or decrement statements are performed in the proper way, that means that are designed in the proper way only, the while condition is successfully, the while repetition control statement is successfully executed by the Python. Okay, so for example, if initialization statement will be wrong, then in the iteration number 1 only the given condition is false and it will break the statement. For example, in the initialization statement the num variable is stored as 11, then what will happen? The 11 is less than or equal to 10 condition is false. Okay, so simply it will stop the execution of the while loop. Okay, so for example, if you wrongly code the condition, then also the while loop is not executed. For example, if num is greater than or equal to 10, if you write, okay, then 1 is greater than or equal to 10, again the given condition is false in the iteration number 1, that is step number 1. So then the while loop is execution is stopped. Again, the increment or decrement statement is not coded in the proper manner, so then also that means num is assigned to num plus 1. So instead of num is assigned to num plus 1, if you use num is assigned to num minus 1, then what will happen? The initial value is 1, 1 minus 1 is 0, again 0 is less than or equal to 10, condition true, again minus 1 is greater than less than or equal to 10, condition is true, minus 10 minus infinitive is less than or equal to 10, again the given while condition is true. So then the while loop is entering into the infinite loop. Okay, so that's why you have to properly write the conditions of while loop, that is initialization statement and condition and increment or decrement statements in the proper manner only, then that while loop is executed by the Python interpreter. Okay, now this is the example of while loop. Then comes to second example. So that is, in this program the program print even number series between given ranges, means so the starting range of the even number series is taken by the user and ending range of the even number series also taken by the user. Then according to the input value of starting range and ending range, the program must be executed. Okay, so like that this can be written with the help of while loop. So here in the SR variable, so it stores the starting range value, and in the ER variable it stores the ending range value. So the EN variable I will store the SR value. For example, so the SR value, ER value is some 2 comma some 20. For example, if you take, so now the 2e is less than or equal to 20, so the given condition is true, then simply it will entering into the black and it will print the 2. Then 2 plus 2, that is 4, again the 4 is less than or equal to 20, given condition is again true, so it will comes to the 4. Same just like that 6, okay, 8, 10, 12, okay, so 14, 16, okay, 18, then the 20. So after 20 the en value is 20 plus 2, 22. The 22 is less than 20, the given condition is false, then the while loop is breaked. Okay, like that. So I entered the starting value of the while loop even number series, so that is 2, and the ending range of even number series as 20. So from 2 to 20 the even number are printed on your output screen with the help of this program. So this is a use of a while loop. So the while loop is belongs to condition controlled loop in the Python language. Then comes to count controlled loop. So already we discussed about what is count controlled loop. So the best example of count controlled loop is for loop. So the count controlled loop in the Python is also called as for loop. Okay, so a count controlled loop iterates a specific number of times. That means the for loop executes the block specific number of times. In Python you use for statement to write a count controlled loop. Okay, so in the Python language you use the group of statements to write count controlled loop. That means the number of times the particular group of statements are executed. The group of statements are executed. Okay, so with the help of for loop. So already before it start the execution of a for loop. Okay, so already the for loop decides how many times it will be executed. That means the group of statements how many times executed by the for loop, it is decided before entering the execution of the for loop. That's why the for loop is called as count controlled loop in the Python. So in the Python the for statement designed to work with a sequence of data items. When the statement executes, it treats one for each item in the sequence. So in the for loop we mention the sequence of values. So the each value of that sequence the block is executed. The block of statement are executed. Okay, so it treats once for each item in the sequence. When sequence comes to an end, then what will happen? So simply it will terminate the execution of the for loop. Okay, then comes to syntax. Here syntax I am using the reserved word is for. Okay, then here the variable, here I am using the variable. So after variable I am using the keyword as in keyword. Okay, so in keyword, then in the square parenthesis I will write the values, that is value 1, value 2 dash 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 value n number of values. Then so the group of statements are depended on this for loop. Then so according to the series values of a for loop, the block is executed. The block is executed. So in the syntax the variable is name of the variable. Variable is nothing but the name of the variable, and inside the square brackets a sequence of values appears, that is value 1, value 2 dash 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 value n. So with comma separator each value, the first statement execute in the following manner. Okay, the variable is assigned first value in the list, and then the statement in the for block are executed. For first value it executes the first time, for second value it executes the second time. So dash 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 for nth value it executes the nth iteration of for loop. Okay, so then the variable is assigned next value in the list, and then the statement in the block are executed again, so repeatedly. This process continued until the variable is assigned last value in the list. So when the last value reaches in the list, simply it will stop the execution. Okay, so like that the for loop is called as count controlled loop in the Python language. So then comes to the example. first example. So this program demonstrated the simple for loop. Okay, then print, I will display the numbers between 1 to 5. So in the output also that comment line is printed. So observe here carefully the for loop. For the variable name is num, in the sequence of values are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, now print num. That means, so first the num variable assign the first value of the sequence. First value of the sequence, that is 1. Okay, now the 1 is printed. Then second value of the sequence. Second value of the sequence, that is 2. Okay, so now 2 is assigned to the variable num. Okay, now the 2 value is displayed. Then next third value assigned to the num, the third value displayed. Then fourth value is assigned to the num. Then it will execute fourth time. Okay, the for loop is executed fourth time. Similarly 5 is assigned to the variable num. Then the fifth time it is executed, then it will print the value as 5. Then afterwards the series, that means the sequence of values are stopped. So that means the end of the sequence values are assigned to the num. So then up to the end of sequence values are assigned to the for loop variable num, then that is executed 5 times. Then after 5 times it will be stopped for the execution of the for loop. Like that the for loop is executed in the Python language. Then comes to the second example. This program demonstrates the simple for loop. Okay, so it will print the names. Okay, so here observe the for loop in the some different manner. So here the variable name, the for loop variable name is name. Okay, so name in, so sequence of values are Ram, Hari and Manu. So here I am using the colon. So the following lines, that means only single line, so is belongs to the for loop. Now the first value Ram is stored in the variable. So that's why the output is like this. Simply it will print the Ram. Okay, then afterwards it will store the Hari to the variable name. Simply it will print the Hari. Okay, so then afterwards Manu is stored the variable name, that is name. Then the Manu is printed on your output screen. So then at end of the program, so all the values are taken by the for loop, that is Ram, Hari and Manu. So then simply it will stop the execution of the for loop. Okay, so like that the for loop is executed 3 times. So the 3 times the values are assigned to the for variable, that is name. Okay, like that the program is executed. So majorly in the Python, the range function is very useful function, while the for loop is executed. Okay, that means in the for loop construction, the range function can be implemented with a very easy and efficient manner to the for loop. Okay, so what is the behavior of a range function in the for loop? Now we will discuss. Okay, observe carefully the program. Python provides a built-in function name range. That means name function is a built-in function. Okay, the built-in function are designed by the Python software itself. Already we know that. So that simplifies the process of writing count controlled for loop. Okay, so it simplifies the writing of for loop count controlled. Okay, here is an example of a loop that uses the range function. Okay, here observe carefully. For num in range of 5, num in range of 5 means the range function contain the highest value as 5. Okay, so that means the range function will start the series values 0, okay, up to the less than value of 5. That means, so if you write range of 5, then internally what will happen? When this line is executed by the Python, internally what will happen? A series is created for loop. The values are 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Totally 5. Why? Because the series is starts from the 0. That's why 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, total 5. Okay. So that means the range function will execute the block of statements 5 times. Okay. But the sequence is internally stores, the range function internally stores a sequence. The sequence values are pushed continuously, sequentially for each iteration to the num variable of for loop. So that's why the starting from 0, okay, the first value is 0. So now the 0 value is stored in the num variable. Okay, simply it will print the 0, then again 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, like that the series of the programs, that means the series of values are printed on your output screen. Okay, like that from 0 to it, the execution is starts from 0. Okay, the range is starts from 0. Some 0 to 4, the values are stored in the num variable. So that's why the for loop is executed 5 times, okay, with the values of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will be printed on your output screen. Okay, notice that instead of using list values, so already we discussed, okay, notice that instead of using list values, we call to the range function passing 5 as an argument. So in this statement, range function will generate a list of integers in the range of some 0 to 4. This code works same as like this for num in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the series is from 0 to 4, then it will be print the num values. Okay, so like that the range function is executed in the for loop. Okay, now here using one program I will explain the range function. So here the function will print the hello world 5 times. So for the variable value is x in range of 5, so print hello world. That means so the x variable contain the series of values, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so totally 5 times. So for 0 it will execute the block once. So that is the in the output screen it will print the hello world first time. So for 1 it will print the second time. For 2 it will print the third time. For 3 it will print the fourth time. For 4 it will print the fifth time. So like that, so the for loop is executed 5 times in the programming. Okay, now then afterwards the range function, how the range function is applied in the different manner, now we will discuss. Okay, then comes to the next example, that is range function second type of application. Okay, if you pass one argument to the range function, the argument is used as ending limit of the list. Okay, if you pass 2 arguments to the range function, the first argument is used as the starting value and the second value is used to taken as ending limit. Ending limit. Okay. So like that, the range function will work. That means if you write two arguments in the range function, then what will happen internally? So the range function create the sequence. Okay. Sequence of values. So that is first starting value is 1. Then next to 2, next to 3, and next to 4. Okay. So the 5 is the maximum limit. The maximum limit never enter as the sequence. Okay. So that's why 1, 2, 3, 4. Totally, if you write 1, 5 in the range function, so it will execute 4 times. For the value 1, first time. For the value 2, second time. For the value 3, third time. For the value 4, fourth time. So the 4 times the for loop is executed. Okay, the group of statements are also executed 4 times. So here only one statement is available in my example program. So that's why it will print the value is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now comes to another form of the range function. So by default, the range function produce a list of numbers that increased by 1. Okay. So if you pass 2 values into the range function, then what will happen? In that example, so it will take first argument as the starting value and second argument as the highest limit. Okay. Then for each iteration, it will increase the value as 1. That means the series is created with the values of n number of values. The difference between first value to the second value to the third value, dash dash dash, n minus 1 value to nth value in the sequence, that value is only 1 by default. Okay. So if you pass third argument to the range function, that argument is used step value. That means by default it will taken as a step value as 1. So if you use the value as step value in the range function, that is third argument. Okay. So instead of increasing 1, each successive number in the list will increase by the step value. Instead of increasing the one value in the list, so simply it will use the step value. Okay. Now here is an example for num in range 1, 10, 2. That means the starting value is 1 and the highest limit is 10. That means up to 9 only. Okay. So the highest limit is not entered in the sequence. So we know that the first value of the sequence is 1 and the last value of the sequence is 9. Then here I am taking the third argument as 2. So now what will happen? Okay. Now every time it will increments the value 2. Okay. That means the first value is 1. Then it increments step value as 2. That means 1 plus 2, that is 3. Then it will 5. Then 7. Then 9. Okay. Then 9 plus 2, 11. So the 11 is not out of series value, that is 10. That's why so the range function creates the sequence with the values of 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 5 values. Okay. So the 5 values are printed continuously on your output screen. Okay. Like that the third argument is treated as step value. The first argument is treated as starting value and the second argument is treated as highest limit value. Okay. So then the third argument is treated as the step value in the range function. Like that, the range function is very useful function while you are constructing for loops in the Python language. Okay, then comes to one example. So that is even number series. Okay, so now en is assigned to 2, so then range of 5, that means the for loop is executed 5 times. So print en, that means 2 plus 2 4, so then 6, then 8, then 10, so 1 2 3 4 5, totally 5 times. Okay, so it will be executed. Okay, so like that the program is executed in the Python language. Okay, then next comes to the last topic of today's class, that is nested loops. Okay, so what is the meaning of nested looping? Nested looping means a looping control statement contain internally one or more looping control statements, then that type of structure is called as nested looping. Means a looping control statement that may be while or that may be for, okay, contain internally one or more looping control statements, then that type of structure is called as nested loops. The nested loops are created by the programmer according to his requirement of the program. Okay, for example, so there is a no specific syntax is there for this nested loops. According to requirement of the programmer can nest, okay, can nest the looping control statements. Okay, so the example, first example, this is a while loop, that means this is called as upper while loop. Then the upper while loop contain inner while loop again, that means the top while loop contain internally one more while loop, then the while loop contain internally while loop. So this is called as nested looping. Okay, this is called as nested looping. For example, if you take the second example, in the second example the for loop contain internally one more for loop, then this is called as nested for loop. Okay, so like that a looping control statement contain internally one or more looping control statements, then that type of structure is called as nested looping in the Python. So with the help of a small example I will explain the nested for loop concept. Here this is a upper for loop, then this is a inner for loop. A for loop contain internally one more for loop, then what will happen? That is called as nested for loop. Okay, here for upper for loop there are two statements are there, that is one statement is inner for loop, another statement is printf function \n means it will print the new line. Okay, now I in range of 1 to 5, that means so simply it will executes the values range of 1 to 5 means 1, then 2, then 3, okay, then 4. Okay, so the 5 is not included in the series, so 1 to 5. Then now j in the range of 1 to I, that means in the first iteration I value as 1, then it will comes to the execution. Now the j, the value is j, so the j value is also 1, starting 1, highest range is I called as I, highest range I called as I, so the highest range is not included in the series. Okay, that's why in the first iteration the condition is false, simply it will not print anything on your output screen. Then comes to the second line, that is printf \n, so it will comes to the new line. Okay, now in the series after two statements executed by the upper for loop, then what will happen? It will go to the upper for loop again. So in the upper for loop, the I value is taken as 2. I value is taken as 2. Okay. Now it will comes to the inner for loop. Then the range function contain 1 comma, the range function will take the first argument as 1, second argument as I. So we say that 1 comma 2. 1 comma 2 means, so simply it will execute only for single time only. So the single time it will print the star. Okay. So after second time, simply the inner for loop is terminated, then comes to the new line. So it will comes to the character that is printf backslash, and that means a new line. Okay. So again it will the range value, that means the variable I value as some 3, then the range function is 1 comma 3. So 1 comma 3 means the values are 1 comma 2. 2 times it will be executed. So simply it will print the 2 stars. So similarly it will print the 3 stars in the third line. Okay. So like that the for loop is executed. Okay. The for loop is executed. Okay. So the for loop contain internally one more for loop. Then we say that that is called as nested for loop concept. Okay. So now today we will discuss about the repetition control statements available in the Python language. Okay. Thank you one and all.